Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. You're welcome to Thursday edition of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. It's a great pleasure to know that you're there, being part of this program. Femi Ojo is my name, and you're very much welcome. This is where we talk about critical issues in the public space, everything for the public good. We are most sincerely thankful that you have made us a part of your morning daily routine. We look through the front pages of different papers, and of course, we talk after that. Critical, frank conversations. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Femi.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, a great Thursday morning, absolutely.
It is.
Yeah, great to be
some
alive.
call it Throwback Thursday.
That's true. Yeah, Throwback Thursday. Yeah, one of these days, let's do it. Maybe you should start it. Just do a throwback, bring up pictures from, old times.
From way back.
Yeah, from way back, exactly. And let people see, how fat or skinny you were before now.
The journey so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good morning to you, our distinguished viewers. Thank you for joining us once again on Morning Spring. This is Western Spring Television. Daniel Emeka is my name. It's always a pleasure to welcome you to this program. Always a pleasure to be here, and it gives me great joy. It gives us great joy to know that you are always there. But because without you, we won't be here. Thank you once again for joining us. On Morning Spring, we start with the newspaper review segment. Then we dive into critical conversations with stakeholders, matters that shape our nation. And like I always say, if it truly matters, you get to hear it from us right here on Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. And we say it as it is. Once again, thank you for joining us. It's a beautiful Thursday morning. It promises to be a great show. It promises to be a great day. And you do not want to miss any part of the program. So stick around, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Femi.
Right. And, here in Ocean State, the unfortunate killing that happened in Akilalu here in Ocean State that involved some youths of Akilalu and some Amatekun, operatives have, taken a new dimension because we understand the police is now fully involved and they have sealed off Amatekun's office. Actually, because of that fracas, many persons are wondering how can an organization or law enforcement organization seal off another agency's...
but I think there's a new development.
Yeah.
As of last night, it was unsealed.
Yeah.
As at when the correspondent checked, around 9 p.m., it was unsealed. Although we understand some police, a squad from Abuja, reportedly, stormed the Shogbo, arrested about 20 of the Amotekun officers at their Okefia office and in some other places.
The office has been sealed. And many persons are wondering what power does the police have? It's like if something happened and the Nigerian police will go and seal off the Nigerian Army office, or the Army will come and seal off the Nigerian police office to say, if there are things that needs to be done, bring in, investigate properly those that are involved, because Amotekun Corps, they're an outfit backed up by law, especially in the different state house of assemblies of the Southwest. Actually, it might not be federal, it is not federal, but then, away from that, if the police have power to seal off their office, based on what we are hearing, is the fact that many persons have been calling, there is some persons that have been sent by the state to go to Akinlalu, commiserate with them and look into this. Some are calling on the state government, state governor, to say, this kind of issue that happened, you need to go in person to that place, because when life is being snuffed out of your people in that way, although it now depends on narratives, because the Amatekun, we have a different narrative. The people are having a different narrative. And just a few days after that, the corps commander of the Amatekun in Osun State was said to have been attacked and only escaped by the whiskers, actually, because his vehicle was riddled by bullets. He was taken to a hospital and all of those things, still recovering. And but that is the situation. But then, if some of these needless killings, I must say, if actually that's the situation, should be avoided at all costs. Nobody should lose their lives right now because of one thing or another, especially like that the country is hard enough.
Absolutely.
Nobody should die.
Absolutely. And
except
again,
it's necessary and is lawful.
And again, the story is becoming a little bit twisted right now. What happened
Very
at
twisted.
Akilalu, recall that among the 3 people killed were 2 siblings, two brothers were killed. I mean, one was 26, so they were quite young. So they were killed. And now Amotekun is saying that those people were actually hoodlums. Recall that some Amotekun operatives went to that place. Their rifles were seized. They said they were attacked, ambushed by hoodlums, and their rifles were seized. So Amotekun had to, remobilize, go back to that place. And they claimed that as soon as they got there, the hoodlums opened fire on them, and they had to respond. That was what led to the killings. Now, that's their own side of the story. Then, coming to what happened to the corps commander. So, reportedly on Monday, he was attacked. It was an attempted assassination. And like you said, his car was riddled with bullets. I spoke with him on Tuesday evening. He said he just left the hospital. That's what they said. He just left the hospital. He just escaped that attack. And hopefully, we talked about the possibility of him, coming on the show. But now, here's another twist. The police is saying that's fine. That Mr. Omoyele reported, that's the corps commander of Amotekun of Osun State, that he reported the case, but they are yet to receive evidence, of him being attacked. They said he hasn't come with a car that was riddled with bullets, that they need to see the evidence before they start investigating. So in my own point of view, I think there's a little bit, disconnect here, between the police and the Amotekun. And as security agencies, I believe they should synchronize their activities, their efforts. That's what I believe. So now the police is practically investigating Amotekun as it is. Yes, they understand that the corps commander was invited by the police, to give some statement. And we do hope as soon as he's able to, as soon as he has the time, he definitely will be here to let us know his own side of the story. But again, like you said, justice must be served at all points, at all levels. And the fact that people have weapons doesn't mean they should use it on innocent civilians, if that is the case. But according to them, they said those guys were hoodlums who actually attacked them, opened fire on them.
According to Police Public Relations Office press release, they said, called it public service announcement, an update on suspected murder, assault, occasioning harm, gun snatching, and wounding at Akilalu. The police said it will be recalled that 30th September 2025 at about 18:20 hours, information received from Chief Oyebamji Kamaldeen of Akilalu. Members of Amotekun Corps came in large numbers and invaded Akilalu community with their official patrol and one private vehicles in retaliation for the 2 pump action guns earlier allegedly snatched, from the operatives by yet to be identified persons, and that during the invasion, sporadic shots, shooting happened and all of those things. But then it should be really looked into. People have died, unfortunately, and of course, it involved Amotekun Corps that are supposed to be safeguarding and protecting the people. Were they right? Were they under threat? Were they, at gunpoint at that time, and they had to retaliate? Who is there? They should be really looked into, because this is Nigeria and this is not Banana Republic.
Absolutely.
We'll take a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll let you know what the papers have have for us. Stay with us. We'll start with the Guardian newspaper. World Bank, Nigeria's reforms yielded stability, not relief for poor. World Bank, Nigeria's reforms yielded stability, not relief for poor. And you can see the picture of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the minister in charge of economy. That's Mr. Finance, Mr. Wale Edun there, and there is statistics. Poverty has surged since 2019 and is projected to stabilize only in 2026 with faster growth and lower inflation. You see some indices there, 2009, 2020 to 2026, 26, 27 projections. You see the number of ultra poor in blue there. I think maybe per million, I guess. Less than 10 million, 2020, more than 10 million in 2021, and it keeps rising and rising. Number of poor people a national poverty rate. All right, below that, you have straight lines indicate projections using NLSS 2018-19 and LSSS 2022-23, and how to bring reform gains home. That's a question there. And then you talk about the price of food inflation. All right, food inflation, improve the use of public resources for development, and strengthen the social safety net. And I think this is coming at the heels of a World Bank report.
Absolutely.
That's, not done, that is not favorable to whatever reform. The administration said that they have recorded, growth that they said they have recorded through their reform. It's, is an indictment on whatever it is.
Yeah, it's not really growth if you ask me. Look at it. Look at the statistics, Femi. This is quite worrisome. Look at it from 2019. If you look at the number of ultra poor, that one in very dark blue, look at it from 2019, just about less than 10 million. Look at it in 2020, the projection. Let's leave 2027. Let's look at 2025, for instance. You have close to 90 million. That's ultra poor in Nigeria. Then look at, for those who are just poor, poor people from 2019, just below 30 million. Then look at 2025. In 2025, you're having almost 140 million. World Bank says 139 million. That's what we have for 2025 of Nigerians living in poverty. It's quite worrisome. And what the government has done, according to World Bank, is just what they've achieved for now is just to stabilize the economy. So we shouldn't really be clapping for the government, because when this administration came in, what happened first, Femi? The economy went on free fall. That was what happened. So what they've achieved so far, according to the World Bank, is just stabilization. Okay, just to stabilize the economy, make sure the currency is stable at this point. The economy is stable. So we are just on the verge of recovery. We have not recovered. So Nigerians are still poor. So if 139 million Nigerians are living in poverty, that is worrisome, truly worrisome. And I'm afraid, Femi, the figure might actually be more than that. More than that. Because if you say 139 million are poor, it means less than 100 million are okay in Nigeria. And Nigerians will ask you, where are those close to 100 million people who are actually living fine in Nigeria?
Yeah. All right. Below that, INEC court orders IGP Egbetokun to arrest Yakubu. Which of the Yakubus? Of course, you already have the word INEC there. For what? Pick up this paper, and open to news page 3. And you can't develop without investment, Obasanjo says. News page 29. You can't develop without investment, Obasanjo says. And Unaji's resignation splits opinion, exposes cracks in vetting system. I think I talked about it yesterday.
Absolutely.
The vetting of public officials before they are given portfolio at all. They take time, they are nominated, all of those things. Sometimes it even takes months before president.
So what were they doing?
During Buhari, it took almost 6 months before he appointed ministers in the first instance. For Tinubu, I think less than 2 months or thereabouts.
Let's say 3 months. He was appointed August, so let's just say 3.
So what are they doing?
That's the point.
The screening by the National Assembly, what exactly is that for?
Take a bow.
Take a bow. Somebody will say take a bow. Oh, you are related to, or you have been a former senator, because there's a convention there. Once you're a former National Assembly member, they don't trouble you. Oh, he's one of us. Take a bow. The guy does this way, does way. Oh, you are being screened.
Just a charade.
And now we are seeing none of this. They're supposed to. And people are clapping because, okay, we are not used to people resigning. You should be clapping to the courts, actually. You should be resigning and being prosecuted. And I think Premium Times should be applauded for this, because they blew the whole thing up, and that's the work of the media. And now I think Premium Times is going ahead to say, we are suing you, actually, because there should be deterrence. It's not just to say, oh, and the minister has said it's not because he's indicted, he just wants to leave, and you're leaving. You
have your for honor.
For honor.
Well, remember, Femi, I said it yesterday. This is an indictment on our National Assembly. Very huge indictment on them. It shows they did not do their job.
I wonder if it's an indictment, because people know. People know what
we've always known.
Yeah, we've always known. They know. If they are watching this money, they know. Is that not?
Quite
the ones that they didn't want to pass, it will not pass. Did Malam Nasir Rufai pass? Because the power that be raised up something that they flagged him. All of a sudden, and I think Atiku told that line as well, to say the same National Assembly that flagged Nasir El-Rufai couldn't flag Naji and with whatever is, because it's not even about the DSS alone, although it's an indictment on them too. Because I think they are the first point of call.
Yeah, they should have screened them as well.
They should. That person shouldn't even get to the National Assembly. The National Assembly is the last stage. Actually, there are people that will have gone through their books and find out and tell. And let me tell you, one thing is this: if DSS wants something on you,
they will. Absolutely, they will.
So somebody somewhere is turning the other eye.
They will.
Somewhere, or somebody somewhere have been told, leave this person, let him go. That's just it. It's as simple as that. Even our own DSS, our mothers, African mothers, if they need an information of you, they will get it.
Oh, you mean the African DSS?
Ah, are you joking? By coercion, by they will get it.
Native DSS.
Native intelligence. They will have it. All right. Now, away from that, JAM screens 176 underage candidates amid push for policy review. Presidency reps knock claims of genocide against Christians to inform UN. All right. Presidency orders military to flush bandits out of Kwara forest. At least they have been ordered now. So go ahead. Because we learned they must always wait for others. All right. NCC confiscates pirated books valued at 100 million naira in Lagos shops. And lastly, 70 LGAs under attack, says Benue Emergency Agency. Okay. 17 local government areas under attack, says Benue Emergency Agency. And I hope this will not have a rebuttal by tomorrow, and somebody will not say, no, that's not what we meant.
The commissioner will come out and say, no, there is.
Say, who sent you? That'll be the Guardian, all we have from the front page of the Guardian.
And from the Guardian, we move to the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning. On the Nation newspaper, how reforms are bringing down poverty by presidency. How reforms are bringing down poverty by presidency. You know, the presidency keep telling us that, you know, the reforms are bringing down poverty in Nigeria, but Nigerians are yet to see it. Come on, what's happening? Why must you always have to explain to us, Nigerians, that, you know, our lives are getting better, that your reforms are working? I'm talking to the presidency now. When you always have to explain to Nigerians that your reforms are working, then you might have to question yourself, because Nigerians are not saying it. Even the World Bank are saying otherwise. So how exactly are your reforms bringing down poverty in Nigeria? Let's look at some of the riders under that banner headline right there. World Bank, let policies reflect on living standard. That's what I just said. Let policies reflect on living standard. That's coming from World Bank. Below that, 139 million could live in poverty by 2025. Now, that's a grim picture painted by the World Bank. Presidency saying the reforms are bringing down poverty, but World Bank is saying let it reflect on the living standard of Nigerians. That is just commonsensical, if I may use that word. That's exactly what Nigerians are asking for. Away from the banner headline, moving on to other stories, still on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning. On the top strip, Uche Naji's resignation, a lesson in honor. Uche Naji's resignation, a lesson in honor. So who's been honorable here? You might want to find out details of that story on page 38. Yesterday, he came out to explain why he resigned, and I think that's up for debate right now. So let's see who's been honorable right here. But again, it shows negligence on the parts of, you know, several institutions that screened him, and before he became a minister in August 2023, and he held that office for over 2 years until journalists actually came out to say, hey, man, there's something wrong here. And they started running the helter-skelter. It shouldn't be so, actually. Away from that, moving on to other stories. Still on the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning. Senate 6 military base in Kwara. Senate 6 military base in Kwara. You'll find details of that story on page 5. With the rider, troops in communities. This has become necessary after some attacks that took place in Kwara State, north central Nigeria. Away from that, APC sets to take in defecting governors. APC sets to take in defecting governors. You find that story on page 2. All right. Party now holds 22/3, 2/3 in Senate. Oh, party now holds 2/3 in Senate. That's talking about APC. They now have 2/3 of the seats in Senate, which means the party can actually, take any decision and it will stand because they have the numbers.
Yes, sir.
And that's what they're talking about right there, which is not, if you ask me, Femi, it's not very good for democracy, if you ask me, which means if the ruling party wants to do anything, they have the power.
They are good to go.
So opposition is just there. They don't really count because they don't have the numbers. They can't really oppose.
I'm almost asking you, when you say opposition, which of them are you referring to?
Oh, boy. Yeah, well, it shouldn't be so, actually. Yeah, it shouldn't be so.
Because which ones? The ones that echoed during Fubara's suspension and a state of emergency are those ones. The only person that walked out that we saw, and, gave his position was former Bayelsa State Governor, Alame. I forgot the name of the man now. The big man who was former governor of Bayelsa State. He was the one who
Is it Dixon?
Dixon.
Seraki Dixon.
The only person. That's
quite unfortunate right there.
At some point.
All right, moving on to other stories. Still on the front page of the Nation newspaper. NGOs seek ban on Nnaji from holding public office. Non-governmental organizations seek ban on Nnaji from holding public office. And on the red strip, shelf plan strike allows Satel's ASU. Shelf plan strike allows Satel's ASU. Then beside that, we find a story on page 4. Then we have Bank of Industry's 2 billion naira loan for core members. BOI's 2 billion naira loan for core members. You might want to read up details of that story. Read up details of that story rather on page 7. Please put tinted glass enforcement on hold. Please put tinted glass enforcement on hold. The police have come out to say that as a result of a court order, they are putting the enforcement of tinted glass permits on hold right now. So they can't just run around impounding vehicles with tinted glasses because as it is right now, there's a court order which is restricting them from carrying out or executing that. Away from that, I'm still on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Now on the bottom strip, on the red strip, 176 underage UTME candidates undergo screening. 176, I beg your pardon. Underage UTME candidates undergo screening. You find that story on page 4. MPA shops for investors in Japan. MPA shops for investors in Japan. You find that story on page 7 as well. MPA shopping for investors. You might want to read up details of that story. And that'll be all from the front page of the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right. From there, we see the next point of call for today, actually, and that will be, it just took the Punch?
No, the Nation.
The Nation. The next is the
next.
Punch newspaper. President to reject World Bank's poverty report. I guess if the report has been, has been flipped over to be to show that the federal government is working, I'm sure Bayon Onuga and
they'll be gloating.
I'm telling you, they'll be referring to it because we've seen instances to say even the global body, they recognize what we are doing. So you peasant, I might not use that word actually, you actually let people breathe. President to reject World Bank's poverty report. Nigerians living in poverty rose from 150 million in 2023 to 139 million in 2025. World Bank and another writer says president to dispute data, defends reforms. World Bank urges action on inflation and poverty. Before we go, Ajania, one question I'd like to ask is this World Bank report, should it really be something that we see as an endorsement or as a confirmation of what we know, or, because if my country, normally under this situation, I think I should believe my country than believe a body from outside Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Is that not the way it should be?
Absolutely. Because you are living the reality. You're in the country.
Yeah.
You know what are things.
But my country is telling me whatever the World Bank is saying is not true. But I'm living here. So do I need the confirmation of World Bank to tell me This was the worth of naira in my pocket 2 years ago. This is the worth of the same naira in my pocket now. Because you took something from, let's say, 400 naira. You took it to, because of a policy and all of those things that you said I will gain later. You took it to 1,005. 2 years later, the price is around 1,000 naira. And you are talking about reduction. So, but I used to buy it for 100 naira.
That's the point.
And that's the thing that they are doing. So, just like you said, it was on a free fall. Now there is stability. Contextually speaking, it's around 1,000 naira. And the government wants me to think that they are doing well. Things are getting better because it's no more 2,000 naira. But when you came, it was 400 naira. That's the issue.
That's the point.
And the reform, and one thing I must add is the issue, apart from that, how about pains? You know, I was just somewhere yesterday and I was thinking, this unnecessary Pengasan, Dapman, what is it? Dangote issue. Do you know the problem it's causing right now? Cooking gas is nowhere right now because gas has not been supplied to where it's supposed to be supplied. So the ones that have it, they have sold it, or the few ones that still have it, definitely there will be exploitation from 1,000 naira, 1,100 naira. When it's being sold at 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira.
Yeah, in some places in Lagos, yes.
Around Oshobo here, you cannot even see it. So what does people resort back to? Firewood. What's it called? Charcoal. And this is 2025. But we have, and I must put it on the doorstep of the government, because they are supposed to be proactive to know that if there is disruption for one day in some sector, the consequences might last for another 2 weeks. Absolutely. And here we are right now.
Absolutely.
Children have resumed. What do you want their parents to do? You'll be waking up at 3 a.m. to be doing charcoal. That is, and you want to tell me that my country cares for me?
Femi, like I said at the beginning,
how?
This report from World Bank, for me as a Nigerian who lives in Nigeria, I think the World Bank is even being conservative. That's my own opinion.
With the figure?
Yeah, with the figure. If they say 139 million are living in poverty, as a Nigerian, I dare say that I strongly believe that more than 139 million people are living in poverty.
Well,
so the presidency should just accept that fact and stop being hypocritical. Because like you said, if the report had come out in favor of the government of Nigeria, you see them making references to that report, saying this as a form of endorsement. Now the World Bank is trying to tell us, the bitter truth, the reality in Nigeria. And I even believe it's worse than that. If you ask me, more than 139 million Nigerians are actually living in poverty. So the presidency and the federal government should wake up and face the fact. It is what it is. Nigerians are living in poverty.
Right, and you have some pictures there that has the Vice President Kashim Shettima, former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, Goodluck Jonathan, Sultan Sokoto Saad Abubakar, Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Zulum, expatriates and other dignitaries at the inauguration of the completed Ahmadu Bello International Conference Center, Bauchi Investment Summit 2025 on Wednesday. Of course, you see them there. Now, strike. Federal government also in high-stakes talks. Now, fraud. Interpol arrest wanted Nigerian in Argentina. And LP senators shrink to 4 as Chukwu joins APC. Change. Now, Dangote refinery engineers on warpath over redeployment. And Christian killings. Federal government disagrees as Khan backs a U.S. senator. Trusted. And opposition slams governance as state IGR soars by 50%. Nigeria lost $10 billion to Northeast conflict. That's coming from the UN, and that'll be all from the Punch newspaper for today. Quite, interesting and quite controversial in some instances. But that will be all. We'll take a quick break right now. When we return, we'll further look into these recently released World Bank report that has put the number of Nigerians that are poor, at 139 million. At an event held in that's the United Nations General Assembly, the Vice President spoke there and he put the number of Nigerians, the population, at 236 million. So if 139 million are poor, according to World Bank, what remains the rest of us? But then we'll look into all of these indices. That will be after. Now we are live on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television NG. Stay with us.